Welcome to another episode of Film Fanatics presented by St. George News. I'm film critic Bruce Bennett with madaboutmovies.org.
And I'm Adam Mast with Cinemast.net.
And thank you for joining us as we have a special episode. We're going to call this the final story about the 88th annual Oscars
The final
show.
story?
The final story. Nobody needs to read or watch anything after what we have to say about it. We're the bottom line, Adam. So anyway, there's been a lot of outrage on the internet, and understandably so, about the Oscars show. But what did you think, Adam?
Well, let me quote a line from my favorite comedy of the last 20 years, Anchorman.
Okay.
What in the hell is diversity?
Chris Rock was a great choice. We knew
He
he
was
was going
fun.
to be a good choice.
He was fun.
One of the reasons is he's a fearless comedian. He's one of the few comedians that probably could take on these topics in a very incisive and edgy way, and yet still try to get to the truth of the matter.
Right.
Because he can pretty much say whatever he wanted. But I thought his messages had ups and downs and very uneven.
It was hit and miss. The hits
And I don't mean just comically speaking.
Right. The hits were pretty good, though. There was a bit he did where he used Hollywood's biggest televised event to help his girls sell Girl Scout cookies.
Genius.
Which was hilarious, and they raised over $65,000.
Why didn't you think of that?
That's quite the haul. So people out there, next time you want your kids to sell Girl Scout cookies, tell them to go to the Oscars, because that's where all the big money is.
Yeah.
He even took a spirited pot shot at Harvey Weinstein for not patronizing his kids, which I thought was hilarious. I know we don't have a lot of time. Let's talk about some of the actual awards.
I predicted and wanted Spotlight to win Best Picture.
And I was so
thought it
happy. I was so happy
Most
that
important movie of the year.
So happy that it won. For me, the biggest disappointment of the evening was Sylvester Stallone not winning supporting actor, even though I love Mark Rylance in Bridge of Spies. Some of the other great things, Morricone winning Best Score. No, score. Yeah.
Right.
He won for The Hateful Eight. He's 88 years old. He's never won an Oscar.
Inspiring all of us.
Delivered his speech
in
Italian. Thanked everyone from Tarantino to John Williams. That was one of the most magical moments.
I love
of the
Brie
night.
Larson, who just seems like
Fantastic.
she's going to be destined to be maybe the next Meryl Streep, although there's no one compared to her. But it was great, and a great performance in Room.
How about presenters? Best presenter of the evening? For me, it's a no-brainer. It's got to be Louis C.K.
Oh, yeah. Or I thought you were going to say Sacha Baron Cohen.
As Ali G, who, by the way, he wasn't supposed to do that. The Academy told him no, and like a rebellious rock star, he's like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
I really enjoyed Louis C.K. getting up there talking about the importance of the best documentary short category, because people in that category, they don't go home to mansions at night. And then he ends it by reading off the nominees. He opens up the envelope and he says the Oscar goes to Mad Max Fury Road, which I thought was hilarious.
It was great.
So,
and we
you
were,
gotta love him.
I think Adam and I agree that we were even surprised to see Mad Max Fury Road win so many
Did a little
awards.
mini sweep. It
Boy,
won a,
And it's a great film. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah, and aside from that, I would say probably the biggest upset of the evening, if you want to call it an upset, aside from Spotlight winning picture, but a few months ago that was favored. It just, something changed.
Right.
I would say best visual effects. With the mini sweep that Fury Road was on, I think people thought, wow, they're going to give it visual effects too. Instead, they gave it to Ex Machina, which is really, really interesting, because I thought maybe The Revenant, because of the bear attack, or Star Wars, which got shut out.
Which was completely ignored. Apparently, it's a very insignificant film.
Well, it made $950 million at the U.S.
Call it $1 billion.
box office. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
So
well,
I
there
guess
you go.
guess they decided that's
So,
all it needed.
Oscars, stick to movies. That's what you do best. Leave the politics to politicians.
And we will keep watching the Oscars because
love
they're
them.
fun. They're our Super
Absolutely.
Bowl.
Well, there you go. There's another episode of Film Fanatics, a special episode. Thanks for joining us. My name is Bruce Bennett, film critic with madaboutmovies.org.
And I'm Adam Mast with Cinemast.net.
And we're Film Fanatics. Are you?
You ought to be in pictures.
You too.
I'm
Both
on
of
a
us.
singing
We kind
kick
of are
today.
in pictures a little bit. It's a little picture.
Yeah, small.
Sort of. Yeah. Very small.